I haven't done any videos on the Mustang this year. This is year 7. It's October 1st. It's a beautiful day outside here in Milwaukee. And I just renewed my insurance today. So I thought we'd do a quickie on the car, clean it up. It's got some leaves and some debris on it. Now, I use this cowl cover to keep things like rain and leaves out of the cowl. I don't have to leave it on all the time, but it is pretty helpful when it's just parked for a while. I'm going to take it off for this quickie that I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it off and maybe put it back on tonight, again, just to prevent leaves and things from collecting in there and maybe creating a problem. It's a really clean cowl. So let's go ahead and do this. First thing I'm going to do is take all the leaves and debris off of the car by hand. Then I'm going to go ahead and hose it off. I'm not saying you should try this at home. I'm just saying this is how I do it. Got the hose, got the debris off. Squirrels really do a number with those walnut trees that are around here. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just get some water on it, hose it off a little bit. There's a lot of dirt on here from the road. Just dust from the busy road in front of my house. Okay, next I'm going to use this, which a lot of people hate, but I like them fine. My paint's got scratches in it. I don't care. I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. California blade to wipe off the water beads. And this hardened chamois. My daughter bought this for me. It's really nice. It's synthetic. You can reuse it. It really soaks up water good. I'm going to get this wet. It's going to turn back into a rag that we can use. And I'll get all the leftover water spots after I blade it off with this. I'm going to go and get the water spots off. I start with this on the chrome best I can, especially if the sun's on it like it is now. So, you know, it's hit the bumpers, go all the way around. This is a very absorbent towel. I might have to ring it out a few times, but it works pretty good. All done. And I know what some of you were saying. I can't believe you put a California blade in one of those chamois on a car before washing it, and using a California blade at all is bad for your paint. Agreed. I'm not suggesting you do this, but let me explain. My dad bought this car in 1978 in California. It had a white Earlshire paint job on it. Over the years, paint chipped off, rubbed off. When I was 12 years old, I put some red primer on it just to save it from rust in the garage. 40 years later, I took acetone, wiped off all my red primer, took a paintbrush in white Rust-Oleum paint and touched up all the bare spots, did a cut, buff, and wax on it, and here you go. It's presentable. It's not perfect. I didn't pay a lot for it. Did it at home. And you think, yeah, whatever, dude. Look, I won car shows with this thing. Doing the same thing I just did with the car sitting out for like a month. Just doing a quickie on it. Last year we won 2nd place. It's presentable, it's a driver, it's not a show car, it doesn't belong in the Smithsonian, but it's still straighter than most cars out there, all original steel except for the rear valance. Everything else is original. By the way, if you live near walnut trees, they suck. And walnuts can leave a stain on the paint. Now, because I had a good wax job on this, I was going to wipe it off with the chamois and water. Wasn't a big deal at all. All right, let's fire it up, go to the corner store, and maybe hit the park. Yeah, before we get too into this, I need to clean the windows. I like this stuff, Spray Away Glass Cleaner. It's cheap, it's not ammonia, it works well. I used to use Sparkle, and I loved it. But this stuff I actually like better, and it's a foam. So, yeah, so spray it on the window like this. And take a microfiber rag and wipe it off. Now what I found is, if you want to clean windows really good on any car, The really good way to do it is to go ahead and do this as many times as you need to. And then to get rid of your streaks, take a dry part of your towel or your rag and buff the window out. It's like the way to go. I learned this trick recently and it works really well. So as long as you get a buff on here, you shouldn't have any streaks or anything. Once it's dry, go ahead and just buff it. You have a nice clean window like this. I can't stress this enough. This is not a show quality paint job by any stretch of the imagination. This is probably a $29.95 Earl Scheib paint job. It's the third paint job this car had before my dad bought it in '78. And I get chips sometimes, like right here. And when I get those chips, I simply take a brush and some Rust-Oleum bright white paint and touch it up. The whole car is like that. So it's not perfect. It's kind of a pretty clean survivor, you'd call it. I mean, it's not original paint, but it's old. And I don't have to yell at kids when they get near it or freak out about it. Shiny paint causes stress. I didn't do a lot to the car this year. It didn't really need much, but one thing that I did do was I went ahead and I finally put in my roof seals. These are really nice Dan Carpenter roof seals, kind of foamy. The old ones were 60 years old. They weren't sealing anything. When it rained, water got in the car. Now it's not a problem. These work great, and they're pretty easy to install. It was some weather stripping sealer 3M stuff, and then it just kind of clicked into place in the channel. I didn't replace the foam behind the channel or anything. That was fine as far as I know. But yeah, the car doesn't leak now, and the doors shut really nice. The windows, when they roll up, there's no air gap. The old ones, you can see, they were really shrunk up like way up here. These new ones, they're great. The only other thing I did this year was replaced the wiper switch. My wipers were intermittent. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. I thought I had to replace the motor. It's a bear to get to, and I couldn't find any one-speed motors out there, which is what I have without fluid, and they're a bear to rebuild. So I thought, well, maybe it's the switch. I put the switch in, and sure enough, my wipers work excellent. It was a 6-year-old switch. It was time. So moving forward, what's the plan? Car's pretty straight. Need a couple things though. Dumb stuff, like my fuel filter is absolutely disgusting. I have one in the shop. I just haven't had the car in the shop for the last month. So I do need to replace that. That is really gross. And it's funny, those clear ones are pretty nice. You can kind of see what's going on with them. I've got a stock one to go in the car. I looked at filaments for these filters and they cost more than the whole filter does itself brand new. So I could just go to the auto parts store and buy a new filter. Maybe I'll do that today. Need to put new tires on the car next year. It's due time. And I need to replace the flywheel. I keep going through starters because the flywheel isn't pretty. It's got some gouges in it. I need to count the teeth on it to make sure I'm ordering the right one. And while I'm at it, I might put a mini starter in it. That's next year. The other thing I want to do is replace things like the radiator hoses and any wear and tear parts on the car that may need to be replaced. It's just that time. I started building this car 7 years ago. This engine's been in the car for a little over 6 years. Or 5 years, I guess, now that I think about it. 2020 is when we put it in. But it runs great, no problem. But, you know, it's time to kind of go through it and just do some preventative maintenance. Tighten up some bolts, replace some hoses, that kind of stuff. And that's it, 7 years in. That's what we did this year. It's a good driver. I'd take it anywhere. Good, solid car. But yeah, thanks to all 7 of you who watch. And if you want more videos on this, let me know in the comments section. Maybe I can squeeze out another video or 2 this year on it. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.